Finally, and often most importantly, being a people person and being able to shoulder to shoulder with people is great as a salesperson. And being able to cancel objections and nurture relationships and get over bumps is great. Knowing contract laws and contract details, making that happen is great. There's so many things having to do with sales that's great. But what makes a pinnacle salesperson, aside from all the others, is to do all of that effectively and very quickly and repetitiously. Repetition is everything. How do you get a 5-minute burger at a fast food joint? You get one person per station and they move quickly. And there's no decision-making process in between because it's already been pre-planned, pre-laid out for them. Often salespeople have a hard time motivating themselves to make the next call or to do the next step because it can be challenging, it can be emotionally draining, it can be mentally draining. You can finish a day wanting to watch paint dry because that's all you have left, and that's part of the beauty of the journey that you're in right now. At the same time, what makes it not as painful, makes it intuitive and natural and allow itself to scale is your ability to plan. It's your ability to think ahead. To the point where when I'm dealing with a pinnacle sales process with myself, whether it be one of the nation's top executive recruiters or what have you, even as a sales trainer, is I even have times to plan when I'm planning. So what happens is at the end of a Monday night, I'll take a look at all my events that happened Monday through the day. And I said, where are my successes? Where are my failures? I celebrate the failures because we fail our way to success in this world. We learn more from failures than we do from our successes. Where are my failures? How can I think through things? What changes do I need to make? I might spend as much as 20 minutes to an hour, hour and a half at the end of a workday just processing. And then from there, I set up, or 5 minutes or 30 seconds, it depends on the day. It doesn't have to be long. And then from there, I set up what my Tuesday is going to look like and my Wednesday is going to look like. Well, I got these 26 people that I called. Of those 26, 3 of them should be on a 3-day timeline. 2 of them should be on a 2-day timeline. 1 of them should be called tomorrow, what have you. And then I'll put in my planner the next day what time of day, between 10 and 10:30, and make these 5 calls. Between 10:30 and 10:35, I'm going to review my success rate on those 5 calls. From 10:35 to 10:45, I'm going to make another 15 calls. And that 15 calls is going to be 3 from yesterday, 3 from last week, and 3 from 2 weeks ago that I need to close. And before long, as you work through your job, you get a critical mass of productivity that it can almost get to the point where it's bad, where every second of every day is planned and managed. But because of that, you can then be highly effective, highly focused. If you're making a series of cold calls and you're thinking how you should have walked the dog longer this morning, you're in trouble. When you're making your cold calls that part of the day, the only thing you're thinking about is cold calls. When you're sitting in front of a client and you're closing that client, the only thing that exists is that client. Their mannerisms, the thing they say, the things they have said, everything therein. Everything else ceases to exist, and you give 100% attention to that. You'll have plenty of time after you leave that venue to decompress, because that's going to be in your planner. You do a 1-hour meeting, you're going to get 10, 15 minutes or 30 seconds to decompress that meeting, write notes in your planner, move on to the next day. You will become one of the most highly effective salespeople in the world. And even as an executive, there's a study that was done with executives of Fortune 500 organizations. I can't tell you which study it was. I can just cite it because I studied it a decade or 2 ago. And I don't remember even when. It's one of those things you just keep in your head as knowledge. And they said, what makes these highly effective people the most effective? And was it because they went to some Ivy League school? Is it because they grew up with a silver spoon in their mouth? What was it that allows them to achieve what they need to achieve? The right group of people that they network with. And really when it came down to it, brass tacks, foundational structure, what made the biggest difference is somehow they managed to get 26 hours of work done inside of a 24-hour day, including sleeping, of course. Somehow they managed to do more things per hour than the average. And often that could be thinking time. For example, my desk is often messy because my brain is messy, but at the same time, I try my best to keep my desk clean, because everything on your desk, once in every, I forget the number, is it 10 seconds to 30 seconds, it traps your attention. So if I have a desk and on my desk is my papers, my meeting notes from last week that are no longer relevant, and a little bobblehead bobbing his head, then while I'm talking about closing a car deal, I'm going to be thinking about the bobblehead and the contracts that are irrelevant. It takes from my brain. Clean your desk, clean your mind. Make sure the things that are on your desk and in your mind are the things that are going to make you money. Make first things first part of your planning process. In that, ask yourself at any moment of the day, am I doing what will make me the most money, the most profit, the most success, the most whatever at this moment in time, right? If not, you're going to be in trouble. Succeed by being well planned, and you're golden.